So now let's go ahead and take a look at cameras. So I have my main camera selected. I went ahead and disabled the camera for our first person controller. So we're in the game window right here, so we can see what our camera is looking at. Let's go ahead and take a look at our settings. So first we have clear flags. This allows us to visualize certain things within our camera. So I set it to solid color. You can see that the skybox went away and it's going off the solid color of our background right here. So I can change the color to a reddish. You can see that it changed it over here. It's going to change it back to a skybox. Then we have a culling mask. This allows us to omit certain types of things from our camera. So right now it's set to everything, so everything in our camera's view is being rendered. But I can change this to say nothing. And you can see everything went away except for our skybox. And that's because we have it set to clear flags for skybox. Alright, then we have projection. Perspective is set to the perspective of the camera. So the way we have our camera set up right now, that's the way it's going to project. So it's kind of at an angle and it has this perspective of our scene here. But if we change this to orthographic, it's going to take a look at from the side. It's going to look at everything the same way. We can change the orthographic right here. So this would be good for, say, a 2D type of game. I'm going to change it back to perspective. Alright, and then we have field of view. This would be good for zooming in or zooming out. Then we have clipping planes. If we adjust the near, you can see that it's going to start basically fading away right here. And what that does is it creates a clipping plane based off the near and far value. So if we adjust the far value to say 30, let's go ahead and make that 50, you can see that it stops rendering anything past 50. And for the near, we set it to 45, and that's why it stopped right here. So we want to make sure that that is set pretty low. I'm going to go ahead and go with the default value. Alright, so now we can see everything in our camera now. Then we have normalized viewport rect. Now this goes off the screen width and the screen height. So if we adjust this, you can see that it moves the camera around a bit. And you can see now we have kind of like a screen-in-screen type effect. So I'm going to change this back to 1 by 1. And you can do the same thing with the X and Y. Alright, then we have depth. Now if we hover over depth, we can see it says a camera with a larger depth is drawn onto a camera with a smaller depth. We don't have any other cameras that we need to worry about right now, so we're not going to worry about that. And then we have a rendering path. You can see we have vertex lit, forward, and deferred lighting. So we can mess around with some of these and see the different effects we have. And deferred lighting is only for Unity Pro. Alright, then we have target texture. Target texture is a Unity Pro feature as well, but the way that works is that if we have a camera in our scene and we want to project whatever that camera is seeing onto a material or an object, we would use target texture. So I can create a plane over here that will display everything that our camera is actually looking at. So once again, that's the Unity Pro feature. And then we have HDR, which is high dynamic range. You can check that on or off. So that is the basics of the cameras in your game.